3 a day in the life. So, this is where I left off on part 2 with body art and things like that. Well, you know, what you cannot change, sometimes you need to accept. And obviously, what's going on today is certainly becoming more and more the norm. And, you know, I guess it is what it is, you know. I'm far outnumbered in my thinking of when it comes to body art. We'll just put it in the capsule of body art. I don't subscribe to that, you know, because I think in some ways I'm ever changing, but in some ways I'm ever staying the same, which in my core values, I think that's not too bad. I mean, you have to stand for something. You know, just because you move doesn't mean you have to give up your favorite sports team or something, right? Or if there's a lineup change in your favorite band, doesn't mean you have to not listen to their records anymore. But with the changing times, when I see all this body art, which I do truly and honestly classify as self-mutilation, it worries me where it's all going to go to, you know. Maybe today's generation, that is their voice, that is their way they express themselves, or want to be endeared, ingratiated, you know, accepted, okay? But I still think it's very damaging. And I think one of the differences between my generation and today's generation is, again, my generation did things that were temporary. You know, they weren't permanent because you weren't sure, you know. Like, again, you go back and look at the clothes or the pictures or the hairstyles or colors that you had, and you think, oh, hey, that was pretty cool. I like that. Hey, that was pretty geeky and ridiculous. What was I thinking? But again, you grew out of it. Nothing was permanent. And my thinking is, you know, if you're going to do something that's permanent, you know, make it really cool. You know, try to do something that everyone can benefit from, you know, like some form of reform and lawmaking, or, you know, setting up a foundation to help others. You know, make that lasting mark. Joe Satriani, I like that. Back when he had hair. That clock on the wall? I think I told you I made that when I was in junior high. Anyways, that's my ADD and HD, 4K. But, you know, do something, if you're going to do something that's permanent to yourself or to society, make it something that's really great, you know, that now and through the ages of the future will admire, you know. I mean, I think we would all agree that for us that are older, okay, I'm in my early 50s. Do I still have the same values as I did when I was in my teens or my 20s or even my 30s? No. You know, we change with time. I think I've once mentioned that. Did you know that every 7 years, the taste buds on your tongue change over completely? So every 7 years, your tongue goes through a transference, you know, a rebooting, as it were. And, you know, certainly, you know, with our attention spans today are getting less and less, we can't be satisfied with anything. Well, then how can we come back and do something to our skin that's permanent? I mean, if we're constantly changing our minds and we're constantly, you know, up in the air about things and so on and so forth, how could something on your skin really stand the test of time? Maybe it can, you know. I'm not saying it can't because I never did it. But on the flip side, I've never found anything in my life that I would deem necessary to plant on my epidermal layer that I would want the world and myself to see for the rest of my natural days. I mean, for instance, okay, I've loved Van Halen since I was 14 years old. So 36 years. Okay. Do I feel compelled to go out and get a Van Halen tattoo? No. Maybe a bumper sticker or a window sticker on my car. Maybe going out and doing my best to sing a karaoke style song of theirs, or sharing the music as I go down the road at obnoxious levels so everybody can hear it. Going to the shows, buying the albums, keeping my ticket stubs, maybe meeting the band, which I've done. But going out and doing something to myself that would scar me to demonstrate my love affair with something? No. No. So as I see all this, I think to myself, I really, really hope all these things mean something to you, because looking back in retrospect on my life, I can't imagine if I got a tattoo at 20, that now 30 years later I would still feel the exact same about it, or even more, that was something that I had incredible foresight on, and that I'm really proud that I did that to permanently scar myself, to mutilate my skin, that for life I have no regrets, not one. I just can't imagine, and I'm a pretty deep guy, I mean, I think pretty broadly in anything I do. Even back when I was a younger man, I've always been accused of being pretty intelligent and mature. Goofy, but mature. And that's a cool balance if you can achieve it. But I couldn't imagine that I could have done something back then that would suffice today. So I didn't. And then I look at things now and I think, well, maybe I've got another 20 years, 25 years to live, but I want to get something now for the duration of my life. My daughter's name, I mean, she's permanent. No. Because I just feel that there's other ways to express myself. But I'm finding, again, that less and less is that the common belief or the common thinking. Even people my age who never got tattoos, who come from my generation, are going out and getting them for a bevy of reasons. But I just don't see the love affair in it. And like I said, if your artist makes a mistake, he or she doesn't have to live with it. You do. Something gets misspelled or it isn't lined up right or whatever. You just can't go back and like a blackboard in school and clean it off and do it again. It's there for pretty much forever. Now, I don't know about tattoo removal, but from what I understand, it still leaves some marks too. It isn't like, you go to pay somebody a few $100 and it's like, wow, it's like it was never there. I don't think so. So, I'm not going to advise people to do this, that, or the other thing. No, it's pointless. It's a waste of time. But what I do say is, keep your options open for what it is that you say and do, because, there is a thing called regret. There is a word called a mistake, and we're always given the ability to change our minds. So remember, if you're going to go out and do something, leave yourself a way out. If you want to do something that's permanent, again, give somebody some good advice. Give some of your time to someone. Write a poem. Write a book. Write a song. Those are the kinds of things that I feel that you can leave a legacy for yourself and others without mutilating yourself. I see that you're in the room. and you do matter, and you do count. You don't have to go out and hurt yourself to be seen. Have a good day.